Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dota Yoshi, bringing you another Dota 2 presentation. Today, we have Mek Level Gaming, 15th on the Cybergamer Ladder, going up against Team Gravitex. And so far, looking at the bans, we have Mek Level Gaming banning at that lifesteal and that IO. While on Team Gravitex, we have Nyx and the potent Batrider. Haven't seen a Batrider for ages. I want to see him again one day. So, looking at Team Gravitex, they will be picking up that Rubik as their first pick. Over on Mek Level Gaming, there's still a Coddle and PL on the pool if they do want to run that pain in the rear combination. We don't see that too much these days. People have started to stray away from that combination, which is a bit strange. I mean, I'd almost love to say I'd love to see a Shadow Demon Lena picked up as your first two, because that leaves you've got your two fantastic spots out of the way, and then you have your carries to go up against whatever they decide to pick. But then there's still a few good carries left in the pool, depending on how they want to run. There's a Luna, there is a semi-carry in that Nature's Prophet position if they want to run that as a carry. There's a Lone Druid, good for an offlane, still in the pool. We got a Gyrocopter. There's still quite a varied selection on where Mek Level Gaming do want to go, and Team Gravitex. But welcome to Mek Level Gaming here, as they are the ones currently picking, and they are the one eating down their reserve time. We see the Lone Druid picked up with that Shadow Demon, so we do see that Shadow Demon eventually come out, which I'm always happy with. I love good Shadow Demon plays. And we see the Gyrocopter and the Magnus. Whoa, I didn't even notice the Magnus was a band out there. So I'm surprised Mek Level Gaming did not pick up that Magnus, and now Team Gravitex has that Magnus in the pool with that reverse polarity. So Team Gravitex is going to be quite happy with that pickup. They got the Gyrocopter too, so that Flat Cannon cooldown and that RP is enough to kill a team on the spot. But we'll look back at Mek Level Game, we'll see what they want to pick up now. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see Arlena pick up, and then they'll pick up their final carry, and then
5 seconds remaining.
And a mid hero, that's the one I was looking for, and a mid hero. So on Team Gravitex, they've got a good potent combination coming up. The Rubik so far doesn't have any good spell steals to be able to pick up. I mean, it's got a Disruption. The Purge would be great, but no one ever gets a Purge. Lone Druid, I mean, you can steal his bear, but it's not going to help you as much as you want. You don't have your items up on that bear when you steal it. This Gyrocopter should be able to see, might be seeing him run safe lane by himself solo, or you'll be seeing him in the tri lane. I reckon Team Gravitex will be running this aggressive tri lane, and just give me a second, I need to check to see if my mic is in game. Yep, mic's working in game. It's all good. Okay, so we will be seeing how Team Gravitex will want to set up their lineups. Mek Level Gaming will be looking to go for an aggressive lineup. They've got the Shadow Demon and Leshrac combination, so that's a great disruption into that very strong stun of the Leshrac, and they might be looking to push down these towers. So we might see Mek Level Gaming, if a Nature's Prophet is not banned out, seeing that Nature's Prophet picked up for that push-in capabilities he does have on offer. So we see the Clockwork being taken down by Team Gravitex. They're taking the Clockwork out just in case, if that Clockwork will be run as that off lane. You don't usually see a Clockwork in mid or part of that tri lane. I think the last time I saw a Clockwork in a tri lane, it did work. However, it was a strange lineup. I think it was Disruption into the Cogs, and then you had the Luna on the side killing them off. It was a strange lineup. So we see Mek Level Gaming taking out the Jakiro and the Coddle, trying to get rid of any good final support heroes for Team Gravitex, trying to force them down a bit more of an unusual route. And we see the Weaver, Alchemist, and that Weaver being banned off by Team Gravitex. So they're trying to get any offlaners or very hard carries to go up against Team Gravitex, and Team Gravitex picks up that Brewmaster. Will we be seeing this Brew go in that mid lane, or will we see him be going into that tri lane and running that Gyrocopter mid or that Magnus mid? So they've got their options for Team Gravitex they're quite open at the place. So Mek Level Gaming cannot predict what's going to happen here or what lanes they will want to run. But in my guess, you will see that Magnus in that offlane, Rubik, Brewmaster, and that final support being played in that tri lane, or you'll see the Gyrocopter part of that tri lane and the Brewmaster in that middle lane. That's just my general assumption. See how they get split out, because Brewmaster, well, not Mek. None of them can play that offlane position so far on Team Gravitex. So we see a Slark pick up by Mek Level Gaming. Mek Level Gaming. I have completely lost my train of thought. Slark's been slowly moving his way into the meta. Ever since being introduced into captain's mode, you see a few teams here and there pick him up, start experimenting with him, and these days, even on the international 3 qualifiers, the West qualifiers last night, if any of you watched it, you saw Slark being played fantastically in one match. He destroyed. He's such a strong hero if left alone to his own devices for that first 15 minutes. If you can't get a gank on him, if you can't kill him that early, he's gonna snowball. He's a strong hero, even with wards out and about. But
10 seconds.
he is a great hero, especially with that. I'm gonna call it the OP Puck Ultimate of Dreamcore. Even though, what is it actually called? Isn't Shift, Shadow Dance, Pounce? I think it's Pounce. No, it's not Pounce. Dark Pact. Okay, it's Pounce, I believe. So his Pounce is a very good move, very good escape survivability. And we see the Juggernaut picked up by Mek Level Gaming, and finally the Witch Doctor. So, will we be able to see any brilliant Witch Doctor players? We will soon find out, as we see that international courier. Does he have any games watched on him? I can't see. He's got 2 games viewed. So, and up at top lane, we have 9 games viewed by that Joppy. Good on you, Joppy. So down on bottom lane, we have the captain of Citori being played on the gyrocopter. We've got Fatty and Jackpot playing Rubik and Witch Doctor respectively. So on. I'm gonna call you guy who's spamming your vocalizations. Did we see a... No, we didn't see a Tango. I thought we saw a Tango playing pop. And finally, we have Milamber being played on that Magnus. So they still haven't revealed their positions of how they're going to be running up this lane yet. We've got over on Mek Level Gaming, they're Tinky playing this Shadow Demon role. Good old Captain Tinky. We have Pinky playing on that Juggernaut, being supported by Joppy on that Lishrak. In mid lane, we have Slark running the Slark mid. So, this can either go horribly right or horribly wrong, whichever way you want to look at it. So, Exit will be playing that Slark on mid, and finally, on bottom lane, we do have DD Fan playing Lone Druid, looking at trying to pull this lane into his favour. He knows the try lane's down here. We might see a lift up just so to delay the bear getting anywhere near it. Rocket Barrage coming out, and they're just going to chase this bear down. Might even lose this bear. Great blocking going on by Dinner Plate. Fantastic blocking. The bear cannot get past. Does he have no cocktail stun up? No, he doesn't. Paralyzing Cask. But that was great creep blocking there with the illusions. Being able to keep that bear, make that bear take another extra 200 damage. And now, Lone Druid's not happy. He's going to rotate into the jungle. He's given up. He couldn't get that creep wave, and he just thinks it's more beneficial to give up on that lane and rotate to the jungle. So, Gyrocopter's going to have extreme free farm down on this bottom lane. And if we don't see any rotations by Mek Level Gaming out, we could have quite a big problem on their hands. We do see Lishrak walking around. We got Shadow Demon doing some nice double stacking. So they're going to start denying XP to this Magnus as soon as possible. They have a ward here, so they can see any TPs coming in from the tower. And they're going to be looking at diving on this Magnus. Shadow Demon's looking for him. Magnus is going to hide. He's got to skew up and run it if he does need to use it. He's going to have to skew away. And he's going to get out of there. Without too much hassle. Oh, my stomach's killing me. Sorry, guys. So, we do have creep pulling coming down. They're going to be likely pulling into a double stack of mud golems. Everyone's favorite creep in the universe. So, the support should be getting a pretty decent farm down here in bottom lane for... I've lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm sorry. So, Team Gravitex is going to be able to start getting their levels up on these support heroes. They've got a Rune will spawn top. There's only a... Brewmaster's going to beat the Slark there, so Brewmaster will be able to fill up his bottle and continue going, harassing down the Slark. Slark does have his bottle now. He's got 3 charges. He's at a pretty decent HP. So it's not a too big of an advantage for this Brewmaster to be able to pick up that rune. We have Magnus, still level 1, compared to the Lone Druid, who did abandon that lane, and is now currently sitting on level 3, so it was a good choice for this Lone Druid to just give up that lane. There was no reason for him to stay down there and try and grab these creeps. They had a great lift, they had a casket, and he just couldn't get the bear in. He would have just been feeding away gold to those support combos. Leshrac taking quite a lot of damage to this Brewmaster, and vice versa. So, Brewmaster will probably likely pop this invisibility, get a few bottle charges. If not, the Slark could probably pounce and find a kill on him. So we do see the bottle tango popped onto that Brewmaster. We look at the net worth. We do have Brewmaster and Gyrocopter sitting on top of the leaderboards, sitting high, flying high. What I was meant to say, flying high, sitting pretty, or somewhere along that lines. And we see a skewer coming out by the Magnus. He's now level 3. He's got an edict pop on this tower. He's going to start taking a few hits. He's going to drop down to about 200 HP. 192 HP. I've got Shadow Demon sitting down here, denying creeps like a boss. And Ping's going out, throwing down the Shadow Demon, hoping that Brewmaster could rotate over there, but Brewmaster's only level 5. If he had that level 6 up and running, you could probably see either a dive on the Slark. Slark's still got that pounce to get away. He's bottle crowing, so he'll be waiting for that to come back. And we have Magnus chasing the Shadow Demon around. Shadow Demon, luckily enough, the tower's attacking those creeps. And they're going to pop the Healing Ward in, giving that Shadow Demon his health back. And they're going to try and push this tower a bit longer, but these creeps will die. Down in bottom lane, Gyrocopter 21 for 8, sitting the highest on the match. Doesn't really need to control his lane too much, but he's still doing a decent denied on his part. And we see a chase down in mid. We've got a Brewmaster. He's got his clap up in a few seconds. He doesn't have enough to do it. We see the regen being popped by the Slark. Slark's going to turn around, maybe bring it back to this Brewmaster, but it's a pretty stalemate between those two at the moment. Neither are level 6. We have Brewmaster half a level ahead. So if Brewmaster hits level 6, Slark's just throwing out a bit of harass. If Brewmaster hits level 6, this Slark, and he doesn't have his level 6, we could easily see a solo kill on from this Brew. But the way things are going, both of them have a good escape mechanism. We have a very, very tanky Brewmaster against a great escape mechanism of that pounce on that Slark. Now we're going to be seeing a tower take quite a lot of damage to this flat cannon combination, with maybe a Fade Bolt coming flying through to try and help push this wave, get him back a bit further. But they're trying to save it up for that Gyrocopter to get every little last bit of creep kill up on him. Up at top lane, we do have Juggernaut. It's on 21, so he is being able to keep up with that free farming Gyrocopter. If I were to put it onto someone, the farm on your Juggernaut will be best in your mid game, and then when it comes to late game, the Gyrocopter will take over. The damage from his flat cannon he can pull out to a team will destroy a team faster than what Juggernaut's Omni Slash can destroy a person. So we'll just wait to see how things come out. One little thing I'm a bit disappointed that I have not seen yet is a smoke up by Joppy and his fellow Shadow Demon who's now in bottom lane, Tinky. I reckon if they pulled a smoke off, they could have come down here and set up a kill on this Brewmaster. Brewmaster hasn't had any mana most of this game. They've had a lot of opportunities to come out and kill him, and we see Slark just destroying Brewmaster's int, and he's going to drink up all he can, because the percentage... Never mind, I take that back. Now we see John coming out. He's going to pop his ult very shortly. He's not popping his ult yet. He's still playing balls to the wall. If he popped his ult, then he probably could have kept going onto that Brewmaster, regained about 2/3 of his life, and then would have been happily, even maybe securing that first blood for Mek Level Gaming. Citori, highest farmer on the game still, sitting at 35 for 10, with that Brewmaster. That's right. I forgot there was another shoutcaster in the game. Talking about something. Anyway, we do have Lone Druid. He's sitting pretty good up. He made a good choice at the start of the game. He's working towards... He's going for a Midas, I believe. Going for that fast Midas. Oh, we see first blood falling onto the Slark in mid lane. I'm sorry I missed that, guys. Brewmaster picked up the double damage. Would have thrown out that cop. And Slark, once again, did not pop his ultimate. He could have been invisible. He would have missed those few auto attacks doing 158 damage. That's a lot of damage coming out this early in the game. But Slark, once again, did not pop that ult. Trying to save it. I don't know why he would be trying to save it. It's 25 seconds, not 25 minutes. Up at top lane, we see Leshrac fall to the Rubik Witch Doctor combination. Slark's coming in to try and TP up, but it's not going to be able to do too much. Omnislash doesn't have enough mana to pop that Omnislash. Some builds you like to see the Juggernaut go for the spin stats, so that he has enough for the spin and the Omnislash. This Juggernaut, Pickle is going for the good old, he was going for that push style with the healing ward. However, they haven't been able to push. We have an initiation down at bottom. Brewmaster got his ult up. We've seen him pop up his ult. He's thrown down that club. He's turned this around. He's going to be fighting the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon is going to possibly die here. He's going to dive onto the tab. His rocks come flying out, and then Fire Elemental will finish him off. Great micro, throwing that Sark up into the air, being able to hold him back. And Rubik's going to come in. Rubik's going to pick him up. Fade bottom. Caster comes out. Caster comes in. Bounces. He's got the curse grounds on him. He's going to possibly fall. He's getting that regen, so the damage from that Maledict is not going to be able to finish him off. And in the meantime, we did hear a Gyrocopter pick off the Lone Druid on that bottom lane. So being able to solo kill that Lone Druid was probably a bit too out of place. Is there any blood on the ground? Okay, I can't see any blood on the ground, so we don't know where he officially died. And we look at the net worth, Gyrocopter is sitting 1.3k ahead of this Juggernaut. That's fairly substantial at this stage of the game. 8 minutes into having 1.3k, and you do have one tower ahead, so that's an extra 200 gold, but still a 1k advantage in both. Does he have kills? Yep, a kill and creeps is quite substantial. The amount of damage you can pick up from that will help you out a lot in mid-game. And if this Slark is not careful, he's got a Skewer and an RP ready, he's going to jump out. Skewer will be, RP will be cancelled mid-animation. So, Slark, be careful, buddy. You've been pushing it to the limit the entire game, and the first time it didn't work out for you too well. So we have, down on his bottom lane, Gyrocopter's got 2.5k saved up. We're looking to see what he wants to buy that into. Will he go for the fast, safe route of that BKB? Will he go for some damage? Will he go for that Yasha for the move speed and that increase in that damage in general? Now he's going to be trapped in. He's just going to walk out. Ping coming out by the Lone Druid, but there's nothing he can do. His bear has been killed off by this Gyrocopter. So that's a 320 gold to this Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's having a fun time. Mek Level Gaming here, still walking around. They've got good ward vision, but then if you look at Team Gravitex, they got great ward vision too. They got defensive ward, making sure there's no play. There we go. That's the drawing function. They make sure there's no come from behind ganks onto this Gyrocopter. Except, once again, I would still like these two to smoke up. Here we go. Now we see a smoke. I would have liked this about 5 minutes earlier and tried to get a mid, try and keep that Brewmaster down, but now is better than nothing. As my unfortunate Steam just popped off. But now is better than nothing. Hopefully they can find something else. But you have your Witch Doctor rotating down. He doesn't have his ultimate up, but they can still find this Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter doesn't have anything. He might be going for the Shadow Bow. They see him, so they should turn around. We should see a disruption come out very shortly. There is a Witch Doctor here protecting him. We see a rocket come flying out. The cooldown's down. The disruption down. Disruption into the split earth. There's no split earth. Where the split earth does miss. Gyrocopter's turn around. He's turning that rocket barrage off. Not Jakiro. Leshrac tries to stop it. The Edict will pop off that Gyrocopter. So, Gyrocopter does fall. Gyrocopter almost picked up 2 kills of his own off of that because the split earth did not hit. The Lone Druid took a lot of brute damage to that rocket barrage, and now we see some damage being thrown out onto this mid tower. Magnus is going to try and do as much damage as possible. Suck's going to try and pull this creep wave off the tower. We won't be seeing this tower fall yet. I'd say this tower in about 5 minutes is very strong for dying. We see the ultimate being popped off, and then a few auto attacks coming out of the Brewmaster, but Brewmaster's going to survive. He's got his arcane boots up and running, he's got his ult running, and now the Slark, you're going to have to run. No clap going off. He's going to dodge that split earth by the Leshrac. He's going to turn this around. Good disruption coming out, making all those pandas having to turn around. He's going to throw Slark up into the air. So he's got some good micro coming on, but he's lost. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting his Earth Panda back, and he's spawning back over here as his teammates come in to support him out. And we do see top tower fall into this Juggernaut. Juggernaut starting to rack up that farm. He's sitting 69, whereas Gyrocopter's sitting 72, so his farm's picking up. They now have next to equal farm onto that leaderboard. If we look at the gold and XP traded on both teams, it's fairly even. 3 kills are inside of Team Gravitex. That shows you the farming capability so far of Mek Level Gaming, being able to split that farm out into all the positions they need. We have Slot currently sitting invisible. He's going to jump onto this Rubik. Rubik's going to be in trouble. We're going to see a throw out from that haze. Not enough to throw it out as the Shadow Demon throws out that damage. We've seen Omnislash coming in. Great spin, blocking him off, forcing him back into the middle, and they will pick up a second kill. That's 2 kills. They're going to get this mid tower while they're at it, unless we see a rotation in from this Witch Doctor and Gyrocopter. But Witch Doctor's trying to stack as much as possible to try and give this Gyrocopter an advantage. So good stacking, good map awareness and time awareness from these supports. Unfortunately for him, it did not get stacked. I reckon this is probably one of the hardest camps to stack in Dota. And we see an initiation onto this Magnus in mid. Magnus does have that reverse polarity up. Slark's going to pop that ultimate. They don't have any revelation for him. Gyrocopter's going for that Shadow Blade. He's got his Shadow Amulet up and running. Rocket's going to come flying through. It's going to hit on the Slark. Slark's just going to dispel that and walk away. Like a happy chappy. He's going to pick up his phase boots? Yeah, he picked up phase boots. I was a bit confused then. Or he finished off his wand. So, either way, picks up something beneficial for him. If we look at... Where do I want to look at? I want to look at some hero levels. Hero levels on the Gyrocopter, sitting on 10. Followed by Brewmaster, Juggernaut, and soon to be Lone Druid and Sark on 8. Magnus 7. And the supports 7, 7, 6, 6, respectively. So, we do have, on Mek Level Game, we do have the minus picked up on the Slow Druid. I'm not sure how long ago it was. I'm pretty sure it's fairly recent. There we go. He's got another set of boots picking up on him. He's got 2 sets of boots. Need 1 for each foot. Not even going to give one to his bear yet. Come on, you want to give that. Give it over to your bear. So, he's not trading those boots over yet. See Gyrocopter picking up that double damage with that Slark. Just trying to scare him away. Oh, I'm sorry guys, not feeling the best at the moment. My stomach is kind of playing up on me, so I apologise in advance. We see an initiation onto this Lone Druid. We got Barrage coming out. He needs 2 more auto attacks. He's not going to... He needs 1 more auto attack. The Flat Cannon kills him from the bear, and he's going to get away on that 17 HP. Fantastic work by the Gyrocopter. The bear, he should have tried to get his bear out of there or get out of the way. The Flat Cannon's got a 1000 radius range, being able to pick him off, and that's going to set the bear behind even further. He's sitting on 3400, next to the Slark on 3200. Their 3 carry build is being, at the moment, too greedy. All hope is on this Juggernaut to be able to carry him through the next 10 minutes of this game. Whereas on Team Gravitex, the Gyrocopter's going up fantastic. Once they get in the power up on this Magnus, the damage will skyrocket for the Gyrocopter, and Mek Level Gaming will be in a lot of trouble. Look at that burst come flying out. Cass is going to hit, but they're not going to be able to follow this up any further, but he's already taken 400 to 500 damage up on him, and it's going to force him to retreat into the jungle for a bit. He's going to go up top trying to farm up a bit more. So see a group up by Team Gravitex. They're going to be wanting to try and fight this. Magnus has that RP up and running. They're going to want to try and fight this on the tower. So far, it's in Gravitex's best interest to take these fights and push as 5-man. When they have Panda's ult down, Panda's ult up, they've got Magnus's ult up. It's best to take these fights. Got to push him back. Great skewer. Not going to pop that RP up yet. They're trying to do as much damage as possible. Surprised there was no RP pop. The Rocket's still chasing him down. His thing's going to pop off too early. He's going to get killed by the Gyrocopters. Boom. And that's a great pickoff. This is a dead tier 3 tower. Tier 1 tower, sorry. So, dead tier 1 tower. Very shortly. And there's nothing Mek Level Gaming can do about it. Mek Level Gaming, they just want to try and bring out this into the late game. They have 3 carries, they have the Lone Druid, they have the Slark, they have the Juggernaut. And if they can't get these late game heroes out, start getting them some farm up, they're already falling behind. The difference in gold is starting to rotate back in the favour of Gravitex because of that recent tower pickup. The XP though, is still not too far ahead. So still either team's game. Being 3 kills ahead and still not too far ahead in that gold or XP is good by Mek Level Gaming being able to keep that farm up on their carries, and Lone Druid and the Juggernaut being able to go into the jungle, being able to keep the top lane pushed. So they're trying to keep up and farm. Juggernaut's not doing too bad job. We do have the Shadow Blade picked up by the Gyrocopter. Do we have any revelation? We got the wards out on Joppy on the Leshrac. We got some dust on Tinky. So they will be looking to fight. We see an initiation on mid. Slark is being picked up, thrown. They're not going to chase us down. They're not going to pop up the split by the Brewmaster, who now does have his Blink Dagger. So some great look for some great split initiation coming out from that Brewmaster anytime soon. And we got Juggernaut, not Juggernaut, Gyrocopter chasing down the Slime Druid. And we got a rotation. We want to see dead Slark. I don't know why he didn't just try to pounce down here and then take off, but he decided to try and run it. He didn't think of them to have any revelation, but they did. So they're going to be able to find another kill on the Slark, set Slark even further behind. You know you're not having a fun game when the supports on both teams are starting to catch you in items, and they've been throwing everything they have towards those consumables. So now we might see a rotation down bottom to try and pick off this Magnus. Quite possibly. We got this Purge coming out. So good Purge, great Entangle. They're going to keep him here, then they're going to throw him into Split Earth, and he's got a dead Magnus. So good Purge coming out. Being able to keep that Magnus down, going to be able to find him off and delay his Blink Dagger even further. He's going to buy back to save this bottom tower. We've got Gyrocopter coming in, he's Shadow Bladed up. He's going to be searching for the Slark. Will he find the Slark? Great disruption coming out. Will we see us into a Split Earth? Great Split Earth. We're going to see a dead Gyrocopter very shortly. 2 more auto attacks, 1 more auto attack. He's going to fall. Got an RP on 2. Great RP, great skewer, great shockwave. Now we're going to see Lone Druid's going to... Druid's not going to fall. Great Split Earth coming out by the Leshrac. They're going to turn back around. They're going to find any more that's coming in for him. So, fantastic play by Mek Level Gaming, being able to turn that around. Great stuns coming out by Joppy, keeping him alive. Great play by this Tinky, and great TP support by the rest of Mek Level Gaming. Gravitex, they got aggressive, they got out of position, they got greedy. They came in there one at a time. There was a great RP, great cooldown, but there was an even better Mek Level Gaming at that precise moment. And we see a Panda Cut being thrown off into the middle of nowhere. Hayes comes out. What's that mischance on Hayes? 65% mischance. Sucks jumping in, looking for something. Going to be turned back around. Brewmaster's not going to be able to get that off. There we go. He's going to turn this around. And he's going to see a retreat from Mek Level Gaming. They're not going to want to fight into this. The rock will come out, and we're going to have a dead Juggernaut. Juggernaut can't get out of here unless we get a fantastic stun. He's going to be thrown up in the air. Someone's dead one way or another. We're going to have a dead 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that's... They should have just left the Juggernaut to die. There was nothing they could do about it. You could have saved 2 kills. We're going to have a TP out by that Shadow Demon. They're not going to find that Shadow Demon. So after a fantastic fight by Mek Level Gaming, they overstayed their welcome. Team Gravitex came back and handed them the wooden spoon. So now we're going to see possibly some more damage coming out into this tier 2. We're not going to see it die. We might see it die. Depends on how aggressive they still want to go. They're playing a very aggressive game at the moment, so they are going to push it. Magnus will have his Blink Dagger up in 700 gold, so if he can get this creep wave forward by this tower, we do have TP support coming in by the Slark. We've got a rotation from the Lone Druid, and Leshrac walking into that lane. Exit is currently sitting on 1 for 4. He's not having a fun game. He's been shut down. He's been hit early. There's going to be a disruption coming out. Great Split Earth. Final hit by the Leshrac. RP on 3. We got a Split Earth clap. We're going to have everything come out. Got an Omni Slash coming off. Picking off 1 in the background. Picks off a second one. Now they're going to chase onto this Brewmaster. Brewmaster will fall shortly after. Now we've got Gyrocopter. He's fighting into the middle of the game. Gyrocopter doesn't have his Shadow Blade up for 12 seconds. Gets in the tangle out. And there's a death onto that Team Gravitex. So... once again, Team Gravitex is now out of position. Each team is just throwing each other a burn. And now, I think they would have seen that vision come in. Yeah, they would have seen them rotate in. So, they should be able to get this Roshan pretty fast before Team Gravitex can get up. So it's going to be a Roshan. It will be picked up for the Juggernaut, if I'm not mistaken. Lone Druid's not... or they might pick it up for the Lone Druid, as he does have that Gem of True Sight on him. No, that will go to the Juggernaut. Juggernaut does have his Yasha working on. He's got his point booster, so he'll be working towards that Aghanim Scepter. Going for all those Omni Slashes. 12 at level 16, and he's almost at level 16. So we're going to see a group up in mid. Now that they have the Roshan token and the Gyrocopter's still down, they believe they can still get this tower, which they possibly can, as Magnus is up top lane, trying to farm up. He's desperately trying to get his Blink Dagger. He's going to rotate in here, probably sell his Iron Branch, and then he's going to get his Blink Dagger. But he doesn't have a TP, so if Mek Level Gaming want to try and fight this in mid, they can they've got a hefty advantage. Especially, they should see this Magnus up top here with no TP, but they're not watching the items. They're going to back off. They're going to play it safe. So, nice call by Mek Level Gaming, but they have to be very wary of this Roshan token. They need to use it. They can't just let it go to waste. They have the advantage going for them at the moment. They're now ahead in XP. They're ahead in the gold. So, I'd like to see... well, we've put some smokes up and running by this Tinker. Not by Tinky, not Tinker. Tinky's got these smokes up and running. I'd love to see him, Shoppy, and possibly even the Juggernaut Pickle start rotating around, trying to find off those picks. Juggernaut's got that Omni Slash up. If they smoke into the forest, they find an easy pick off and throw dust on him. We have a dead Gyrocopter. We have a dead Slark. Not a dead Slark, but Sucks playing very aggressive here. He might get fanned out by this Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter will start working on towards those creeps. But I would like to see a smoke up by Mek Level Gaming. They are in the lead. They do have mechanism coming very shortly. Now we're at 800 gold onto Tinky, and they will have that mechanism up and running. We have Leshrax picking up of that eye from good old Lone Druid. Now we have Pickle running around, still working up. He's almost got his Agnum Scepter. He's got another 350 gold to go, and he'll have his Agnum Scepter. We've got Initiate on mid, RP on 2. We're going to have cooldown, got to skewer out of the cooldown, but we do have a dead Slark. And now we're just going to be waiting. He comes out of the disruption. Great disruption by the Shadow Demon, keeping that Lone Druid alive. He's going to be picked up. Lone Druid will be picked off. The Aegis will be popped very second. Oh wait, he doesn't have the Aegis. So we do see the Lone Druid and that Shadow Demon Slark falling. So it's a pick off of 3. Great initiation with that Blink Panda and that clap, followed by the RP on 3. So now we're going to have a dead middle tower. We're going to have some damage done to this tier 3 tower. And there's not much Mek Level Gaming can do about it at the moment. They've started to... They were out of position, they weren't working together, and Team Gravitex capitalized. They took the advantage, they took the initiative, and found the pickoffs. So now they're going to get about 2/3 damage done to this tower before they're going to have to back as the other carrier of Mek Level Gaming will be coming up very shortly. We have TP, very aggressive TP coming in by Slark. He's going to be extremely... They do have vision of him, and he's going to try and get invisible. He's going to get away, surprisingly enough. There's no vision thrown down. The eye has been dropped onto the ground. That's going to be slowly picked up. There we go. By the Brewmaster. Brewmaster will pick it up. We've got a Skewer coming back in. Omni Slash popping off to try and keep himself alive. The H will be popped. And now they have to try and back. They're too out of position. They're too low in health. Needs to spin and get out of there. He's going to spin. He might not get out of here in time. Lone Druid will fall very shortly after. Shadow Demon falling again into that backplay. Slark jumping in. Great clap coming down. We see the death of the Magnus, but now we see the death of that Slark and Juggernaut. And now we got dead tier 3. We got possibly dead Rex. So, great play by Team Gravitex, fighting it to their advantage. Mek Level Gaming, they were not all in position. They were caught out one by one, and then they ran back in one by one. So, bit of miscommunication, or a bit of, how should I call it? That word, excitement, I should say. Got a bit excited. They all ran in there uncontrollably, and unfortunately not together as a team. So Team Gravitex does pick up this kill. Roshan will be up in 6.5 minutes. They're looking to rotate bottom. Bottom's dead. Simple as that. I'd like to see this Lone Druid try and start working his way by himself. Start trying to get more farm. Push these towers out. Or I would like to see this group up and smoke by Shadow Demon and the Leshrac. They've had smoke on them the entire game, but we haven't seen any successful smoke gates, so to speak, by Shadow Demon and this Leshrac. You have the disruption, you have the split earth, you have the fantastic ability of ganking heroes, but it just has not been put to full use by Mek Level Gaming so far. So, That's slightly unfortunate for Mek Level Game not being able to put those heroes to full use yet. Slark has been shut down this game, sitting 2 for 6. Juggernaut's been playing pretty well, been able to try to keep up. He still hasn't been able to pick up his Agnum Scepter yet. He'll want to try and get that as soon as possible before the next fight. I'd almost suggest just selling your Magic Wand and your Town Portal Scroll so you can have that for this fight. However, he's might got that. He's got it now, so he doesn't need to. And we hear something going off the side. We had Rubik had his own Omni Slash and just kills Leshak. Just brutally murders him. So, dead Leshak on the side. And then we've got aggressive TP coming in by the Slark. Slark loves to do these aggressive TPs, and he's going to die. So, he's got way too aggressive. Team Gravitex is going to make him pay. Tinky will fall shortly after. Omni Slash is taken off by the Pickles. Pickles will pick up 1 kill. Pickles is going to get counter-spinned by the Rubik by Fatty. Going to see the death of the bear. Juggernaut's back down on the ground. They're going to kill off his healing ward, and now he's going to be very in loads of trouble. He's going to be lifted up by Fatty. Pickles coming flying back out. Fatty is in trouble. He's going to get auto attacked down by DD Fan and Pickles. So Juppy's going to try and run back out, but the damage has almost already been done. They did get the tower. They almost got the racks. But things aren't looking too good for Mek Level Gaming here. Look at that massive jump and difference in gold. That's a 10,000 advantage in favour of Team Gravitex. So, Mek Level Gaming are on the back foot here. Team Gravitex are happy. They're in a position. Magnus will be going for that refresher. Roshan will be up in just over 3.5 minutes. And now, they're just throwing around stuff on the ground. No idea what was pinged. Brewmaster might be going for a Hex, or he's going for the Shivers. Depends on how he wants to go. If he wants to pick up that, going for the Sapphire Vice, it will be a great help. But then again, if he does pick up that Shivers, he'll be able to slow down the attack speed of Slark, of Lone Druid, and finally of the Juggernaut, as well as doing damage to everyone around. And we see an Ogre Club flying around on this courier. Juggernaut will be picking it up, so he's going to start working towards his BKB. Maybe, I don't want to say a little too, not too little too late, but it's a bit, it's what he needs to start working to. I wouldn't say it's too little too late. They've just been harassed, and great play by Team Gravitex here so far. So if I do want to look at the items a bit more, we've got 4 stuff picked up on the Rubik, we got the Radiance now picked up on the Gyrocopter, and he's got his BKB. So this damage, look at it, he's almost killed Slark just by attacking the racks. We've got a dead bear, and now we've got Casket bouncing. So we've got a dead racks, unless they want to try and initiate. We've got a dead Slark in 2, 1. Gotta just get away. Cooldown's been popped. A great RP into the cooldown. Great skew it. Great shockwave. We've got a dead Witch Doctor. Shadow Demon's running for his life, being hit by that flak cannon. Then we've got a dead Lone Druid, and this is the game for Team Gravitex. They now have the racks. GG gets called by Mek Level Gaming. Team Gravitex played fantastically. Mek Level Gaming, unfortunately not utilising their heroes to their best potential. Lone Druid was forced to stay into the team fights. Stayed in for the team fights, and had to play with his team. He wasn't split pushing, he wasn't getting the farms, he wasn't taking down the towers or putting any force onto the team buybacks. The Shrek and the Shadow Demon did not do any I can't say they did any reasonably good smoke ganks. I mean, they did do a smoke gank down here, and they did pick off the Gyrocopter, and I believe it was the Witch Doctor, if I'm not mistaken. But that was pure luck. That wasn't from the smoke gate. They were retreating. Smoke gate came out as 2 heroes came up, so they did a good support play, but it wasn't really a smoke gank. So, Tinky and Joppy, they weren't used to their best potential. There were some good disruptions come out by the Shadow Demon, but in the end, I think, because they weren't able to help out the Slark as much as possible in mid lane against this Brewmaster, that's where Slark fell behind, and that's where Mek Level's Gaming, in general, fell apart. So, great play by Team Gravitex, being able to push hard and fast before Mek Level Gaming could start getting the farm up on their heroes. And it was just Well played by Team Gravitex. So Team Gravitex will be defending their 5th position on the ladder on Cybergamer. And I'd like to thank you all for watching another Dota Yoshi presentation, and have a good one.